Greetings! This is Dynamics here to cover the new lightweight framework for organic factions and talk about future plans integrating game design and data science. And now, in the interest of serving the almighty YouTube algorithm, let's dive in. Now, before we delve too deep into the new content, it's important to do a quick recap of what organic factions are and what they bring to the game. As per previous videos on the subject, organic factions are groups that grow and change on their own, independent of the player's actions. This helps boost player engagement by making the world truly feel more alive. More than a simple frozen cardboard cutout where the player is the only agent of change. For example, that rundown fort full of bandits that you cleared out back at level 5? You may later pass by that same spot only to find it home for necromancers, werewolves, demon hunters, or any number of enemies or allies. Once more, organic factions can change their composition over time. For example, a group of squishy druid spellcasters might grow strong enough to call on giants and mammoths to fill their front ranks, quashing any challengers that might rely on full frontal assaults. This means that even the same faction might be significantly different the next time you encounter them. Lastly, there can be rare or unique faction members that spring up from time to time, completely changing the landscape of the game. For example, a legendary orc leader can bring their people out of the mountains to sweep across Falkreath. Or perhaps a lich awakens in their tomb fortress, sending their spectral armies out into the world. These kinds of events can bring players back to places they otherwise might never revisit, even opening up lower levels that were previously inaccessible. Again, this extends replay value, especially when events overlap each other on the map or compete for the player's attention by occurring at the same time in different areas. In fact, these semi-random world-scale events can present a refreshing and compelling draw for players that have otherwise beaten every quest and vanquished every static enemy. Which threat will they face first? Will other factions hold off one or the other in their absence? Or do they purposefully let these new event-driven groups gain power to help push out more hated rivals? All of this comes together to let players experience more than just differences in scale, like tossing in simple copies of the same enemy. Instead, this creates differences in kind, where the challenges change in nature and reward the player for being flexible and creative. All of these factors make each playthrough completely unique. For those interested in a more generalized overview of the subject, check out this video by Extra Credits. Now that we've established what an organic faction is, the next logical question might be, why make a Lite version? The original release of organic factions was built for maximum flexibility, allowing for a huge variety of built-in options. However, the design required significant time to build out the key features of each faction. This new Lite version has streamlined the build process by focusing on the most essential tools and options. To demonstrate the power and flexibility of this new system, an example Lite build has been included under the main Organic Factions mod page. This features two miniature Lite organic factions, each of which demonstrates different functions of the system. First, we have a new bandit leader at Knife Point Ridge who has dispatched some troops to hold nearby Banner Mist Tower. Initially, the bandits consist of a captain and a single minion, who will provide the captain with a limited number of healing potions. Additional potions will slowly accumulate in a nearby chest, which the player can loot. This arrangement creates a risk-reward situation for the player, who can opt to keep the faction alive in order to routinely drop in and reap the fruits of their labor. Once the player passes level 5, another minion will be added to work the forge in the basement. It'll take some time for them to progress their skills, but they will eventually manufacture a set of steel armor and battle axe for the captain. Just like the alchemist, the player may want to keep this minion alive in order to routinely get better loot from the captain. Alternatively, the player may wish to visit the location often enough to assassinate the blacksmith before they make the new equipment, which can make the fight significantly more difficult, especially when compounded by the healing potions from the alchemist. As long as the leader and captain are alive, they'll prevent the player from directly fast traveling to the locations they control. If slain, the minions will respawn after 2 days, the captain in 4, and the leader in 8. Killing either the captain or the leader means that no actors beneath them in the hierarchy can respawn. Also note that a bandit's life can be rough, so each of these actors can randomly die on their own as well. In addition, a second group has been built into the demo. This is a company of mercenaries that can be found in one of 3 locations. If hired by Whiterun, they will appear alongside the guards of the White Watch Tower just north of the city. However, their allegiance can be bought out by local bandits, in which case they will appear in Silent Moon's camp. Finally, when not employed by any party, they can be found carousing in the Drunken Huntsman. These allegiances can shift from one day to the next. This presents the player with a quandary. When the mercenaries are stationed at the White Watch Tower, the player can try to raid the Halted Stream camp and perhaps draw some of the bandits over. However, the player might be more worried about getting overwhelmed at Silent Moon's camp. If so, will they try to kill the mercenaries at the Drunken Huntsman? Or perhaps use the confusion of the fight with the halted stream camp bandits to eliminate all parties? For this demo, the mercenaries are set to respawn after just one day, so feel free to experiment with various scenarios. To recap, the demo clearly shows how the framework can be used to create a variety of actors with multiple layers of complexity. Future releases will show how the player can hire mercenaries, create merchant, religious, and military factions, and scale up to world-spanning invasions. For those not familiar with the release, the Skyrim AI Director allows developers to monitor in-game player performance and dynamically adjust the difficulty and rewards in real time. The demo mod includes random encounters with wandering monsters, as well as a utility that allows modders to extract data from the Skyrim logs into a format suitable for consumption by databases and machine learning algorithms. Over the next several releases, I'll demonstrate how to use organic factions in conjunction with the AI Director, which will help aspiring designers power up their skill sets and take advantage of the amazing technologies out there. The accompanying videos will demonstrate how to build several different types of light organic factions, and I'll publish what I build as part of the Organic Factions extension. Links to the existing mods for both Legendary Edition and Special Edition can be found below. This has been a presentation by Ether Dynamics. Thank you for watching.